All right. Okay, happy Halloween, everyone. Let me know if this thing is working, because I don't think the headphones are actually working, which is really weird since the light's on and everything. Jake is in the house. There we go. First to the chat. Yeah, can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. If you can't hear me, I'm going to have to restart the stream because I'm not getting anything out of my headphones. So I don't know if the mic is working. Hello, Brandon. Hello, Jimmy. Yes, it is working. Okay, cool. So it's just the headphones that's not working then. So the mic is fine. All right. Well, let's go with it. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Halloween weekend. I was actually going to dress up in a costume for this. I didn't buy any costumes this year. I still have some stuff, like repurposed costumes in my closet that I could definitely take out to wear, but I was like, nah, I don't think so. Not for this stream. Not for the stream. I don't like to muffle my voice too much, especially if I have a mask on. Sounds good. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you very much for tuning in. I was going to do, obviously, my standard Sunday night live stream, but Sunday I'm going to be taking my nieces and nephew out trick-or-treating, so I will be hanging out with them and my sister all day pretty much tomorrow and evening, so I can't really do the live stream then. So I felt like Saturday, it's a good enough time to do it. If I do want to go out and do anything for Halloween, I can do it after the stream is done, so we'll be able to chat here for an hour or so and see how the stream goes, and hopefully we can have some fun. I can answer some questions for you guys. Jake says, you don't have random mess laying around. Guess that's just me. No, I definitely do. I just, I don't have to muffle my voice too much for the stream. Yeah, I actually had a Lego Ninjago costume I bought in one of my videos from the new channel, but I ended up giving it to my niece. I would have only wore the mask because the mask definitely could fit adults, but the costume's made for kids. But the mask is, you could easily wear it as an adult. It's for kids with big heads, I guess. Are you guys actually doing anything for Halloween? You guys have any parties planned? You going to a bar? Are you having anything at your house? Are you going trick-or-treating with your kids if you have kids? I'd love to hear that in the comment section. Master Chief, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, that's going to be a good costume. Johnny says, so I guess you are running on Central Time. Is this Central Time? Are you sure it's not Eastern Standard Time? Oh, because I'm already early? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Jake says, I don't drink. You don't drink? Good. That's good. I'll do enough drinking for the both of us, so don't worry about that. Jimmy says, in the hospital, so no fun for me. Ooh, that's not fun. Are you working in a hospital, or are you actually in hospital for your own illness and own accord? If so, I hope you feel better, man. That's not a fun time to be in the hospital. Johnny says 4:45. Yeah, it's 5:45 for me here. It's 4:42 here. Interesting. Where are you guys? Are you guys East Coast as well? You must be more central. Pancreatitis. Oh man, I'm really sorry to hear that. Is this is it your pancreas? Just like pain, or is it something like cancer related? Wow. Yeah, no, I'm Eastern. You guys are Central time. Yeah. So right now it's 5:45 for me. Yeah, Chicago's the border between Central Time and Eastern Time. Okay, that's, well, I mean, it's not good, but at least it's not cancer. I definitely hope you feel better. That is no fun. That is no fun. So I did the cube opening today for the channel, and I will never buy a Walmart cube ever again. It was absolutely atrocious. I knew they were going to be bad, though. I've seen Joey seem to get lucky. I think there's more commander decks in those mystery cubes down in the States. Here in Canada, we kind of get shafted with that. But that one basic land pack, that was like rubbing salt in the wound. That was unbelievable. I can't even believe that they get away with that. And that was $30. There were $30 each for those. So that was really, really brutal experience. Johnny says, I'm in Manitoba. It was a joke about your earlier post if starting the stream at 4:45. It definitely was. Jake says, I bought 2 and they were both freaking welcome decks. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like that either you're going to get the decks you get for free or you're going to get like a land stack. So a sealed land case, which is in a way probably not as bad. I mean, yeah, in some ways, depending on how old the land stack is, it might even be better than the welcome deck. By the way, I'm drinking a little bit of wine. Hope that's okay. Just finished editing a video for my other channel. Obviously, the whole channel is set to private right now. But yeah, I think the videos are actually, I'm starting to get the flow of the style of the way the channel is going. The editing, everything is kind of hitting a certain rhythm now. But again, once the channel is live, I'll definitely leave the channel link in the community tab so people can subscribe to it if they choose. It's a thrift store, garage sale, flea market hunting channel where we do reselling and we do selling on eBay. We do collecting. It's basically just more of like treasure hunting, but I think you guys will like it. I think the commander decks were only for a very short run. I couldn't find any in the last year that were commander decks. Yeah, I think it was like it's a good way to get people buying them, right? And then once they get hooked, they'll just keep buying them, hoping to get another commander deck, and they just basically are not even going to be in there. That's possible, although I did see a commander deck. I think MTG Attitude Dave, he actually opened a commander deck, but it was one of the older mystery cubes he said he bought it like 2 years ago, and he just had it in his collection, and he opened it later on, and there was a commander deck in there. So you might be right, actually, might be onto something. Maybe they don't do them anymore. Yes, thanks for reminding everyone, Jake. Yeah, don't forget to like this stream so it does go to more subscribers on the channel. Francisco Lopez says, I appreciate the market mover dailies. Helps me a lot. Thank you very much. I do it for myself, but I'm glad like people have been enjoying it. That's the great part about building a community on YouTube. It's something I don't plan on ever stopping for the time being. There might be like weeks or that I don't do any, maybe a day off here and there when I feel like the time is right and I need to rest from it. Sure, but as of right now, I'm enjoying making them. So thanks for watching them. As long as people are watching them, I'll continue to make them. Jake says if they have commander decks, it will say it has a commander deck in there. Probably, right? Like they'll just change it where they won't say it's a mystery item anymore. It's like, and a commander deck. And then they'll just raise the prices of these mystery cubes after that happens. Daniel W is first. Oh, so for packs, we only have Guilds of Ravnica packs to open up tonight. I wish I had a mix or more of a variety, but that's really it. Although you can pull Shocklands in there, and there is Assassin's Trophy. It's a good rare as well. So if anyone sends any supers or anything like that, we'll crack one of those packs open. Peter is in the house. Peter Schmidt says, hi, Peter. Thanks for joining this beautiful Saturday night. I mean, Saturday night, I shouldn't have maybe put night in the title. Maybe it's not quite night yet. Afternoon, late afternoon, early evening live stream. Jake says, Moxon was saying there's a new reserve list buyout. Glad I got in on my guy's Cradle and Sarah Sanctum before the prices go crazy. Yeah, I think there's the market's stirring up a little bit for sure. We'll see what happens. I haven't noticed anything too crazy going on in the reserve list as of yet, but you could definitely be right. I know Legends stuff has been kind of all over the place lately. Jake says, Daniel, I was first again. Yeah, you and Daniel are always first in some ways. Daniel will say first. if he's not, but regardless, I still count it as first. You know, you guys are both first in my mind, Jake and Daniel. Oh, wow. I didn't even notice that. Thank you so much, Jake. All right, I guess it's time to open up our first Guilds of Ravnica pack. Ooh, let's see. Are we going to pull a shock? I don't know. To be honest, I have much better luck for some reason with the Ravnica Allegiance packs when it comes to pulling shock lands. But I really like Guilds of Ravnica. Let's see what we get. We got Maximize Altitude, Barging Sergeant, 10th District Guard, Spinal Centipede. We got Vigor Spore Worm with a Maniacal Rage. We got Hired Poisoneer, Fernati Shieldmate, and then Hypothesizzle. I think this is going to be our first uncommon. Nope, it's Prey Upon, so I don't think we have a foil then. We have Beacon Bolt as our first uncommon. Our next uncommon is City Watch Sphinx with a Crush Contraband and it's not a shock land, but it's not a creature either. Oh, nice! Very nice. Chromatic Lantern. Probably one of the better rares in the set. I think it's like definitely in the top 6 or 7 best rares. Definitely a much needed card in Commander if you're using a multicolored deck or a multicolored Commander. Fantastic. Thank you so much for that super chat, Jake. Wow, that's crazy. Chromatic Lantern. Let's go. Starting it off really, really nicely. We do have a few more packs. And yeah, maybe we'll get a shock land if we get any more chats, but that was crazy. We have Is It Guildgate as well at the back, and again, no foil. We do have an Elf Knight token as well. Chromatic Lantern. Jeez. It's been a while since I've seen that card. I remember I pulled it before. I think I pulled a foil one from Return to Ravnica back in the day when I was very new to Magic. So this is one of those nostalgic rares for me. Yeah, really cool. I used it in like a janky vampire deck, actually. It was not the best vampire deck, but I used Chromatic Lantern in it. Yeah, really nice. That was awesome. Okay. Back to the chat. Jake says, Daniel, you should consider becoming a channel member. You definitely watch most of Matt's videos. Yeah, I guess, yeah, the channel member, I haven't really pushed the channel memberships too much. More my Patreon. It's a little easier to manage the Patreon and know what's going on than the YouTube. Yeah, the YouTube's channel member thing is kind of confusing. I'm still confused by it. But I have a lot more slots on the reserve list tier for my Patreon now. I had a few people leave, so there is a few spots open back up. I'm considering doing some Christmas cards for all the reserve list tier members for Patreon around Christmas time. Think about doing something fun for everyone. You guys can help me out with gift ideas. I opened 14 Cyclonic Rifts during my standard days in Return to Ravnica. Thought they were trash when the set came out. Isn't that always the case? Especially because, you know, Commander just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, obviously a card like Cyclonic Rift, it can be okay in standard, but really it's Commander where that sees the most play. But now, yeah, fantastic card. It's it was undervalued for so long. When people started realizing how good that card really is, yeah, it's just a fantastic card that's hasn't really went down too much value. I think the lowest in the past like year or two, the lowest ever went was like $25 for that card, right around there. So Daniel says Chromatic Lantern. Yes, there it is. Chromatic Lantern. Awesome card. Great card for commander decks. Johnny says, with redacted name opening packs of the Dark, I predict rise of that set's cards on this week's week. Yeah. And also, I think Rudy, he opened a few packs as well, right? Today from the Dark. I was very, very close to considering opening up a pack of the Dark for Halloween. I just couldn't. It just looked so good sealed in my pack in the display there. I was like, oh, I could do it. Maybe next Halloween. I'll see. I might. Maybe next Halloween I'll bring myself to do it. I just couldn't do it this year, unfortunately. Jake says, yeah, I dug all the riffs out of my bulk box. Yeah. Well, definitely not bulk. You don't want to be like accidentally selling that as bulk one day, right? You want to make sure those are separated out of your collection for sure. Put them someplace special, like in some commander decks or something like that. You've been playing Terraria all day with my boys, so I have been very active on YouTube today. You haven't been, yeah. That game. Oh, I heard of that game. I think I know what it is. I'm gonna research it right now. Ah, yes. Okay. Yep, I know. I remember seeing this game around. Yeah, how is it? I think my friend told me about it. He's a video game developer out of college, and he says it's a really good game. Wow, looks so much like Lego, like Lego a little bit, but almost like a Super Mario a bit too. Really cool. It's 2D Minecraft. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It's a good way of putting it for sure. Yeah, I definitely shouldn't do these impromptu live streams. I think everyone is expecting a Sunday night live stream, not a Saturday. It is also Saturday. Saturday in general is a time that people are going out, especially it's Halloween weekend. Probably not the best time to do a live stream, but I thought I'd hop on now than no time at all because I wasn't going to do it on Sunday. Have you considered any more openings for us? Oh yeah, you mean like the packs on the channel? Yeah, I'm trying to think of something. So there is a situation brewing where there's a few viewers on the channel that really wanted me to buy their booster boxes to open up on the channel to like sell back in packs or something like that. But the prices that I was getting were like if they were going to ship me the boxes and everything else, I'd be paying more than I would be to get them locally from a seller here. So we couldn't really work out a deal. That whenever I actually put the prices, that would be fair. Like I'm not even paying myself anything. I'm just to cover shipping, postage, stamping, and everything like that. I was getting a lot of complaints from people, and they were like, "Oh, I can get this pack at the store for this much." And it's like, yeah, I know, but like I have to cover shipping and everything, and it's not like I'm getting the greatest deal from the seller. So so I don't know. Right now, I'm not sure of what I'm gonna do. I might think of some box openings for later, but I felt really annoyed at the amount of anger that was coming out of people just because I was trying to do openings on the channel, and so yeah, again. It's not like I make a ton of money on YouTube, and it's not like any of the opening videos actually pay me enough to open the box. So yeah, it's one of those things where I'd like to open up more, but I'm trying to save up to buy a house right now, and I live in Ontario, which is insanely expensive. So don't really have a lot of funds to open up boxes with. But I'll think of some openings, maybe some newer sets. I wanted to open up older sets, but maybe some Crimson Vow. I'll figure that out for later. If you guys are interested in Crimson Vow, maybe I could figure something out for that, and I'll get as good enough a deal as I can to cover the postage stamps and everything else like that, and top loaders and everything else that's going to be part of the shipping process. People shouldn't complain about that. You don't ask to have packs open on YouTube for a deal. Yeah, well, that's the situation. Hey, Dual Brain is in the house. It's hanging pretty good. You know what? Actually, story time. So an interesting situation happened to me lately. So this is going to take about 10 minutes to talk about. But I feel like venting. I'm in a venting mood right now. So, we got people in the chat. So maybe you guys can process this and let me know what you think is the best approach to this moving forward. So the house where I'm living in, so my parents own two houses beside each other. So I'm renting out the house here and they live beside us. So they were renting this house out to tenants that were here for about 5 years. It was friends of my parents, and they moved out in November of 2020. So they had a cat here, and the cat's name was Diesel, and it was a very much an outdoor cat. It did live here, but it was like an outdoor cat. It would come in to eat every once in a while, and come in to sleep every once in a while, but it really was like a night owl. It was out all the time. There was a neighbor across the street who became quite fond of this cat. He has been calling him in every night. He's been basically forcing the cat to sleep there. And I remember when we first moved into this house, it was like within a week I was here, there was a knock on the door, and it was the neighbor across the street, and he was asking for the cat. He said, "Hey, have you seen Diesel around?" And I was like, "No, I don't. No, he's not here. He's been around though. He's been around like the front or everything, but he's not here right now." And he said, oh, "Okay," and then he just went on to say that the neighbors who lived here before, they would never take care of the cat. The cat would be freezing, and he'd have to call them in and everything. And as he was saying that, I was just like, that's a weird thing to say, because it's like, do you not know that like the tenants used to live here with friends of my parents? Like, you're kind of disrespecting them to me. But I was like, I'm staying out of it. So I was like, okay, I was just listening to him. Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, they didn't take care of the cat. Okay, yeah. Even though I know that the cat's more of like an outdoor cat, so it doesn't like to even stay inside like at all. Like it as soon as it eats, it'll maybe sit down if it's cold, but it likes to go right back out and hunt squirrels and hunt birds and everything. So that was like within the first week that we moved in here. And then a few months later, there's another knock late at night, and he was asking if Diesel was here, if I've seen him around. And I said no, because Diesel wasn't here, and then he left. Again, that happens a few months later down the road. Same situation. Diesel wasn't here. He knocked on the door, and I sent him on his way. So a few days ago, as I was working, like I was still working, I was just finishing work down here, and this is the earliest that he's ever knocked. So there's a knock on the door. It's like 4:30, and I was like, "What the heck is that? Like, who's knocking at this time?" And so I go upstairs, I open it, and it's him. And he asked if Diesel's here, and then as he asked that, I was like, "Wait, oh yeah, Diesel is here," because he was let in. My wife let him in like a few hours ago before she left. And he was sleeping on the bed because he wanted to get in out of the rain because it was raining. So he went in the bed to take a nap. And I said, yeah, okay. So, okay, I'll go check. I think he's in the back room sleeping. So I close the door and I'm going to the back room. And then I have this weird switch in my head that says, wait, what am I doing? This isn't even his cat. Like, this cat's trying to get in out of the rain. Why am I going to pick up a cat that's having a nap to give it to this guy so he feels secure? Like, it's the weirdest thing. So I pick up the cat. I go to the door. I put it on the ground, open it, and then he picks up the cat. And then he tries to tell me that, can you do me a favor and not let him in, because he's getting confused because he still thinks that this is his house. And then I just tell him, it's not your cat. And then he was like in shock to hear that. He's like, what? Yeah, it is. I'm like, no, it isn't. It's the previous owners of this house, and they offered the cat to my parents. My parents didn't want it, and then she offered the cat to me, and I said, no, I don't want it, but I'll take care of it if it wants to come and eat some food or anything like that, take a nap, because I don't plan on living here too long. I don't really want to take a cat that seems very attached to the neighborhood, because he's, again, very much an outdoor cat, away from this area. And he starts kind of losing it. Like he's like, I call him in every night. I don't hear you guys calling him in. He stays with me. He's my cat. And I was like, I'm just like listening. I'm like, yeah, it's good that you take care of the cat. I could call in kids from the street, but if they live at someone else's house, that's not my kid now, just because I take the kid into my house. That's the like the thinking process behind that is really psychotic. So I know this guy's crazy. So I'm just listening to this guy vent, and I'm like nodding my head. I'm like, yeah, man, sure, okay, sounds good, man, sounds good. And eventually he's like, oh, if I see the cat go in your house again, I'm gonna call the police. I'm like, on what grounds? You have no legal rights over this cat. You have no paperwork, no nothing to say it's your cat. If this cat is freezing in the wintertime and it comes in at the window and it's minus 25 degrees, guess what? I'm letting the cat in. I'm not gonna let the cat die outside because you're not home and you feel insecure when the cat's not bonding with you for whatever reason. It's really weird. The whole thing is it's a bizarre situation. I think I've ranted long enough on it. Let me know what you guys think what would you do in this situation? Do you think that I was wrong for calling him out on it? Do you think I should have just like, put my emotions aside and be like, whatever, man, here's your cat? To me, it was the only time that he's knocked on the door that the cat was actually here. But this is the thing that bugged me, is the fact that I don't want him knocking on my door. I don't want people knocking on my door, right? Like this is the fourth time he's knocked on my door, and it was the only time the cat actually was here, which is what he was checking in on. And it was just, I don't know, the whole thing just infuriated me. Let me know what you guys would do about that. It's a situation, and now think about it. I just had like a whole yelling fit with a guy who literally is across the street. You can see into my living room if I don't have the blinds closed. So this is my situation that I'm living in from now on. It's pretty stressful. It's stressful on my wife too, and we don't know what to do. We're like, we may have, if this situation gets more and more awkward within the next couple of months, we might have to move, because it's such a weird situation. This guy's clearly mentally ill. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I can't. Yeah, I want to read some of these comments. F that guy, Dual Brain says, for sure. Jake says people are crazy. Ain't that the understatement of the year? Dual Brain says crazy people, man. Noted. Average Josh said, I just tell him to F off. That's pretty much what Dave told me to say too. And Dave said that I should just let the cat in whenever he wants. Forget it. It's not his problem. It's not his cat. So I should just not listen to him. Jake says, I would have said, if he's your cat, why is he in my yard then? Keep your cat inside. Good point. Actually, my wife came up with an idea, which we're kind of doing for now, but we haven't seen the cat too much in the last couple of days. Her idea was, whenever the cat shows up at our window wanting to come in from the rain or whatever, coming in our door wanting to come inside, we pick the cat up, go to his house across the street, knock on his door, and be like, this is your cat, right? Okay, well, it keeps, it really wants to come in our house, so maybe you should keep him inside your house. And just basically do that 4 or 5 times a week and make his life like a living hell. Like, just complete inconvenience on the guy. But again, this is like, maybe it's a little too vindictive to even think this way, but a part of me just, like, the troll in me thinks that that's a hilarious idea, just to make this whole thing an inconvenience. Like, and he started it by knocking on my door. Like, he knocked on my door 4 times, and then he started arguing with me and started yelling and saying he was going to call the police if the cat that's not his comes inside my house. Dual Brain says, you are fighting for the cat's rights to partay. He's you're infringing on your space. Be careful. Dude will dime on you for anything. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Like, he's he's an older gentleman. He's like in his mid-50s, and he's short. I'm not afraid of him in like a physical confrontation sense. I'm more like just worried this guy's nuts, Yeah, like the fact that he's even just knocking on my door and like, this is my property. Like, do not come on my property. I don't want you on my property. And I actually think that the confrontation we had, it was awkward enough that he won't show up again. Like, I'm pretty sure he won't. But again, it's not like I'm calling this cat to come into my house, right? Like, I don't really care if the cat comes in my house or not. I'm very indifferent to the whole situation, which is why I'm annoyed. It's because it's not like I want this cat to come into my house. It's not like I'm begging for the cat to come into this house. Yeah, the cat's a nice, friendly cat. It's an outdoor cat. It's usually outdoor cats are very friendly. But yeah, he comes in to have a little bit of food every once in a while, and to stay out of the rain or the cold, and that's it, really. If anything, I'm doing like a solid for the cat. If you give me 10% of your cards, I'll go talk to him. I don't know, you guys says, just saw your cube opening. Yeah, it was brutal, eh? Got 2 land packs myself. No way. I feel like that's just what they're just trolling now. I feel like that's they know people are starting to buy them regardless. Dual Brain says that's way nice to do that for him. LOL, I'm from New York. That's being kind. I know. Yeah. And that's the funny thing is I'm trying to actually be nice about the situation. That's why I kind of snapped a bit when he came to my door the last time, because it's just this is the fourth time he's came to my door, and it's the only time that the cat actually was here. And he tries to basically right away say, "Oh, can you do me a favor? Do you a favor? How about do me a favor, not come knocking on my door about a cat that's not yours?" And then requesting that I wake up the cat from its nap to give it to you to bring back home. And as he was holding the funniest thing about this whole thing is I almost forgot to mention the whole time he's talking about this and he had the cat in his arms, the cat was like, was like biting his arm and like making all these sounds and I wanted to leave. I'm just like looking at him. I'm looking down at the cat, looking back and I'm like, yeah, cat really wants to go. You should probably let that cat down right now. Average Josh says, just tell him to stay off your property or you'll call the cops. Well, that's the funny thing is he gaslit pretty hard and said he'd call the cops if he sees the cat going to my house, but he actually has no rights over the cat at all. And my parents were friends of the previous owners who actually, it was their cat, but they moved. They can definitely attest to that, to the fact that they never gave him the cat. My wife says, give him a cat deck. I should just make him a cat deck. You're right. A cat commander deck. And be like, here you go. No, I don't want to give any cards to the guy. Forget that. Yeah, that's true. Buy a big dog. The dog will actually scare away the cat too, which I'm not trying to scare the cat, but that actually might solve some of the problems by meaning the cat's not going to come to my property again. But I mostly just want him off the property. But yeah, you're right. If I got a big scary dog, and if he came knocking at the door and the dog was like, arr, arr, yeah, it might scare him off. Hey, Luke says, hey, beautiful, looking good. Well, thank you very much. I think I'm looking pretty awful here, but I do like my Frank Miller Daredevil shirt here. Dual Brain says, next time hand him the cat and then engage him in a long conversation so that the cat scratches the crap out of him. That's true, because the cat, he was only really talking to me for about 5 minutes, and the cat was not having it. It was biting his arms. It was trying to scratch at him. Yeah, the longer the conversation, the cat, it's ironic because the cat will jump out of his arms at some point if he engages too long. If I lived closer, I'd pretend to be a scary dog. Yeah, just come behind the door and keep barking. Shade A says, hey, Matt, don't feel so bad about opening that cube full of basic lands. I watched your opening, your video this morning, and then went out and bought the same thing. At least I got some good cards out of the box. Well, that doesn't make me feel much better. No, but I'm glad you actually got some good cards. Luke says, I'm handcuffed to the stove right now. Uh-oh. All right, well, hope you guys are having a fantastic Halloween weekend. We do have a few packs of Guilds of Ravnica to crack open if you get any super chats. Or if you guys have any other funny stories that you can tell me in the comment section as well. I'd be happy to read them. But yeah, crazy. I just felt like venting. Sorry about that. I know it's not really Magic the Gathering related, but I felt like getting it off my chest. I was actually going to even make a video about it. And my wife is like, don't make a video. It's not Magic the Gathering related. Don't talk about this situation on the channel. I'm like, okay, maybe on a live stream, if the mood is right, I'll vent and explain this neighbor situation. But yeah. I love confrontation. Well, that's the funny thing is I don't necessarily like confrontation, but I understand that there's certain situations where you have to deal with it. Like it not people there's some people who like confrontation, but the majority of people don't really, and there's some people who are just damn right like afraid of confrontation. Like they'll recoil at the thought of it. But it was one of those things that he came knocking on my door, right? And the fourth time he did it, I wasn't going to back down. I wasn't just going to be like, oh, absolutely, whatever you say, I'll do whatever you say, even though this cat's not even yours and the cat clearly wants to come inside. It was, yeah, not having it. Jake says, comes to the door and giggles creepily for several minutes. Dual Brain says, I've been sorting all the flea market cards. So much work. Yeah, guys, check out his flea market buy, Dual Brain MTG, down in the comments. Pretty interesting stuff so far. Those are the flea markets I wish were around Toronto. Like the ones where you go out into a field or a parking lot and it's just like a bunch of tables with like almost looks like a garage sale. We don't really have that. The only flea market that I've ever found magic cards at in Toronto is Dr. Flea's, and there's like one comic book and toy booth. That's where I found it. But for the most part, if you go around, there's like a lot of like food stuff, and then stuff that you'd find like in China, like like cheap fake toys, knockoff toys that they're selling in their booths, and it's just like I don't want that. So that's not. I want like garage sale style flea markets, like some of the stuff I see in the States. Make a second channel for neighbor related rants. I should. If this situation keeps getting funnier and funnier and more annoying, I may just call it battling the neighbors, and it's just us like making the guy's life a living hell. That is actually hilarious. That is hilarious. I love that idea. Yeah, we all have that one neighbor. This is exactly why I moved into the country. That is 100% accurate. Me and my wife immediately started looking at houses in Calgary because it's so cheap in Calgary compared to Toronto, anywhere in Ontario, really. And we're like, you know what? Let's just go to like a place maybe like close to Calgary in Alberta where it's a little more country and we could just not deal with crazy neighbors. And I'm like, yep, that works with me. Jewel Brain, it's a massive flea market. I believe it's the biggest in the Northeast US. Yeah, I hate the trinket booths as well. Yeah, it's just like I can buy that on eBay or Amazon. I hate when I see those things and it's like it's clearly like cheap plastic stuff that they obviously bought in bulk. So I want to see like vintage stuff or toys or cards and Lego. Love seeing Lego. Lego is amazing. Jake says, if he comes to your door again, you could always gently toss the cat to him. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Right at his face. Josh says, I have no neighbors. Closest is a quarter mile or so. That is amazing. I gotta get on your level, really. If I didn't have so many guns, I would move to Canada. Yeah, I'd love to get a gun license. I'd love to get a gun license, but not in Toronto. It makes it very, very hard to get one if you live in Toronto. Also, bears. That's another thing. People don't realize we have a lot of bears here in Canada. Um, it's it's a pretty good reason to own a firearm if you're living in the country. The bears in Canada, we have a lot. So, and the further you go out north, it's like you don't get raccoons going to your garbage, you get bears. And yeah, you don't want to spook them the wrong way, right? So, pretty scary. Nathan says, hello from England. Well, cheerio, my good friend. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful Saturday night. And again, for everyone, we do have some Guilds of Ravnica packs to crack open. If we get any chats, I will be here for at least another half hour. I might head to a friend's house later on to watch a hockey game. Yes, that's right. I'm Canadian and I watch a hockey game. But we'll chat for definitely another half an hour. Jake says license, don't need one here as long as you're not a felon or domestic abuse. Oh no, we need like hardcore. Like you got to go through a pretty big extensive process in Canada. I don't know, guys. I don't know you guys. I believe it's that's why a lot of people in the States own firearms. Yeah. Luke says, so I ordered a Snapcaster, someone's favorite card. There you go. On eBay auction for $21.99 shipped. Wow. That's crazy. That's a really good deal. Which version of the card? And I included, and my aunt sent it back to Canada, after I called to check on my mail, eBay refunded it twice though. What? That's odd. So it's free then. Okay, that's interesting. Nathan says, Shockland Challenge, 3 boosters, 1 shot. Well, we already opened up 1 booster of Guilds of Advocate. We did get a Chromatic Lantern. We did not get a shock yet. OG auction. Yeah, not a lot of people do auctions for single cards nowadays. That was surprising. In America, we end arguments like yours with the clock. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing is, I mean, I'm annoyed with him, but at the same time, like, I know he's got some mental illness. Like, you don't take people's cats. Like, he was taking this cat in before when the other tenants who actually owned the cat lived here, and that's just insane. Like, you shouldn't be taking in other people's cats, especially at night, right? Like, if it's during the day, the cat wants to come in and say hi. Okay, yeah. I mean, you still really, it's kind of weird. But like, if you're making that cat sleep with you in your bed, I know it sounds weird, sleep with you, but you shouldn't let the cat sleep in your house. That's just weird. You shouldn't do that. Oh, the original one. Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. So the original Innistrad one. That's awesome. He still needs to abide by boundaries. Yeah, 100%. And I don't think he's going to come knocking anymore. I really don't, but there's an odd chance he might. Though the last confrontation was very awkward. And now he clearly understands that I don't appreciate him knocking on my door. Before, I was very kind with him, so maybe that was why he thought, like, I was, like, I wasn't trying to be a dick or anything like that. This time I was really upset because, this is the 4th time you've knocked my door. And, the cat's not yours, but this cat happened to be here. And I just knew he was going to say something when I brought the cat back. So I was like ready with a comment. Like, it's not your cat. I was ready to say something. That's the first thing that came out. It's like, dude, it's not your cat. Like, don't give me any sort of speech. It's not your cat. I'm not going to abide by whatever you say. Yeah, Alaska without guns. Yeah, bears and everything there. Even moose. Yeah. Angelo says, hey, Matt. How's it going, Angelo? Thanks for joining me on this beautiful Saturday night. Well, it's not so beautiful here in Canada. It's raining. A little bit of a wet Halloween here. Hey, it's easy. How's it going? Hey, bud. Long time no see. I'm drunk. Hey, I'm getting there. I'm getting there, buddy. Out of curiosity, whose cat is it? So the cat is so here's the situation. It's actually no one's cat. That's the weirdest part about this. So the previous owner of the place that I was living in now, they couldn't take the cat with them because the new apartment that they're going into, they weren't allowed to have a cat there. So Diesel, he was very much an outdoor cat, anyways, and he liked the neighborhood. Cats, he's an outdoor cat. Living in an apartment would be like torture for him. So she's like, I'm going to leave it just here. People can kind of take after him however they choose to. First, she offered it to my parents. My parents already have a cat. They declined. And then she offered it to me. And I said, I'll take care of it, but I don't want the cat. Because I know that I'm going to move eventually within the next couple of years. And I don't want to take the cat with me because he's very attached to the neighborhood. So then she's like, oh, okay, well, whatever, like, as long as you can kind of take care of him. But she never formally gave the guy across the street the cat. The cat, I mean, he just always calls in the cat, but it's not actually his. And that was the point that I was trying to get across, is that the cat's not actually his cat. And he's knocked on my door 4 times looking for him. And it's like, dude, it's not your cat. It's kind of weird. There's a lot of other cats in the neighborhood, that are out on the streets at night and stuff. I don't hear anyone knocking on my door, looking for their cat. So it's kind of weird. Like he's got an obsession with the cat, and it's very unhealthy. Knock, knock, you see my alpha black lotus. Were you talking about bringing back lottery cards with the Coast Dice? Yeah, apparently they're supposed to be bringing back lottery cards in 2022. That's the rumors. The cat to save the argument. That's true. Well, the funny thing is, I could technically get a hold of the woman and her family who used to live here because she's friends with my parents. But I don't want to. It's so awkward that I don't want to like have to, because I could go and get legal papers and knock on his door and be like, by the way, the cat's legally mine. Can you please stop calling him in at night? But I think that would make him short circuit, and he would either kill me or kill himself. So I don't want to make it go any further than that. I had a neighbor claim my outdoor cat was hers and tried to accuse me of stealing it because it came up to me in front of her house and I picked it up. Wow. That sounds so much like the same situation I'm going through. There'll be times where the cat will be in our driveway and my wife will be petting the cat and then he'll whistle for the cat in his driveway when he sees the cat in ours and we're petting it. So that's weird because it's not his cat either. It's technically this is his house. He used to live here for like 5 years. It's, if anything, it's more kind of by proxy our cat because it's the house that he used to live in. But I don't want that type of responsibility because I'm moving anyways, and I don't want him to be stripped away from this neighborhood that he seems to really love. Because cats are very territorial, right? So, like, he feels like this is his territory. It's more yours than his either way. Yeah, that's true. He's a crazy cat lady, pretty much. Jake says, by your own admission, you really didn't want the cat. Maybe you knock on the door, maybe be your answer to taking care of the cat. Interesting, yeah. Just remember, a cat doesn't live with you. You live with the cat. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a fair point. The Collector's Gathering says, my cat Yoda is dope. He is my personal stalker. He even follows me from bed to the bathroom in the middle of the night and gets up on the cabinet so he can lick my face while I pee. My weird buddy. That is very strange, but that sounds cute. That's odd, though. Easy says 6:30 is the best time on the clock, hands down. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Almost there right now. Almost there right now. So we got 16 in the chat right now. Please hit that like button if you haven't so far. We're going to be here for at least another 15 minutes. We do also, again, have packs of guilds. If anyone wants to send a chat, we'll crack open a pack and see if we actually get a shock land. Jake says, clarification, the neighbor may be the answer to the cat keeping his territory as long as you know he's actually capable of caring for the cat. Yeah, no, 100%. Like, this is the thing is I'm okay with him taking the cat. Like, as far as I'm concerned, the cat's his. I just don't want him knocking on my door and being anxious about a cat that wants to get out of the rain so it comes into the house that he used to live in for 6 years. You know, it's like, and the cat will come in occasionally and we'll pet him, we'll feed him and stuff. It's one of those odd situations where I don't want the cat, but I but again, I don't like where he's overstepping his boundaries. That's the way I feel. Like, if he feels like the cat's his property, okay, fair enough. He doesn't have any legal rights over the cat. There's no paper saying it's his actual property. However, this is my property, so don't come on it. That's kind of my 2 cents. If he wants to shoot me a text every once in a while and say, hey, Matt, just checking to see if Diesel's there, kind of worried, I'd be like, okay. No, he's not here. Bye. Right? But it's like you knocking on my door and stuff. Sorry. Like that's no. There's no need to just pick it. That's the thing that bugged me too. The cat was sleeping. Right? It was taking a nap. It was trying to get out of the rain. And it was taking a nap for like 2 hours. The cat was clearly tired. And then what happens, right? I have to wake up the cat from a nap to hand it to the guy so he just brings it over to his house. Like, what is the deal? Why can't I just let the cat out in an hour when it's done its nap, right? It's kind of insane. All right, Luke, take it easy. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by this live stream. My wife says, go back to the MTG subject. Yeah, we'll try. We'll try. Jake with a very thoughtful super chat. Yeah, I do appreciate that. He says, I wouldn't feel comfortable giving my number to a potentially unstable person. That is a good point. Well, maybe I could yeah, I guess that's fair. Maybe an email. But I mean, who responds to emails fast enough, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's just a thought. I just don't want the guy knocking on my door. Really, that's what it comes down to. All right, thank you so much, Jake. Let's do this. Let's see if we get a shock land here. Hopefully, we get a shock land. Thanks again. So we're starting things off with the Wojak Bodyguard. We have a Take Heart, Radical Idea, Ornery Goblin, Never Happened, Crushing Canopy, Barrier of Bones. We have a Dev Karen Descendant, Boros Locket. We have a Siege Worm, and I think this is going to be our first uncommon here. Yeah, it is a Nightveil Predator. This card was bonkers in Standard. Then we got a Goblin Crater Maker with a Silent Dart. I don't think we have a foil, but let's see what we have here. Oh, no, it's a creature. It's not a Shockland. It's a mythic, though. Okay. We have Aurelia. Not bad. That's actually that's pretty good. I mean, you don't really want to see mythics in the Ravnica block, but nonetheless, Aurelia, it's really good in Gatecrash. Aurelia, I think that's like the most expensive card from the set. But I'm not too sure if this one is value. It's like around $2, but is what it is. We did pull a mythic. Thank you for that. Awesome. All right. Now, let's get back to the chat. Let's see what we got. Shade says, go out and get another cat that looks just like the first cat and leave it outside just to see the look on his face. That would be hilarious. That would actually be funny. But I wouldn't want I would want the cats to actually be friends. That'd be even more funny. Where it's yeah, so it'd be even more uncomfortable for him. He used to buy cats himself. He's been taking neighbors' cats into his house with my other cat as well when I was a kid. This name, making my cat Scout. So yeah, there's something really wrong with the guy. Collectors Gathering says, strange coincidence. An adult male stranger knocked on my door at 1 a.m. last night. My pitbull wasn't happy. Neither was I. I gave him one stern warning and pointed down the street, and he bounced. Why did he? That's weird. Yeah. Was there any reason for it? It was like a Nicky 9-door situation. That's really odd. Jake Johnson says, you going to send me that chromatic lantern? Looking fun for a comment. Yeah, you know what? I probably will, actually, to be honest. You are on the reserve list here, aren't you? I think you are. I am going to, I'll probably send it out. Yeah, I probably will. Nathan says, pit bulls are illegal here. Wow. Do you think Times Already Mastered was more hype than warranted? I mean, with the supply disruption, I think that's what really drove the prices a lot. Although, I don't know. I mean, if that was a regular standard set, that'd be bonkers, right? I think, I don't know. I mean, I had a lot of slivers and stuff. I think the price point is fairly justified. It's about almost as powerful as like a modern Masters, not a Master set, like a modern Horizon set anyways. That block in general was pretty powerful. I think it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty decent deck set. Josh says, squirrel is in my yard. My border collie. Great dogs, by the way. Let us know before all four hit the ground. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he could have been trying to break into the car or something, seeing if anyone was there, anyone would hear. Nice. Oh, you mean Commander Legends was pretty? Yeah, I've heard. Well, the Jewel Lotuses are really hard to pull. I have 6 boxes of Commander Legends, never opened any. Wow. You have, you're pretty patient. I appreciate that. That's pretty cool. You're very disciplined. Innistrad set having cards that care about Krakens and Leviathans. Imagine that. Dual Brain says, I'm at Target right now buying a card for the wife. I have to go check what type of MTG they got there. Yeah, I have. We don't have Targets actually here in Toronto anymore. We had them for like 4 years and they disappeared. But the Walmarts here brutal for Magic. Terrible. You open 2 boxes of Commander Legends and have got Jewel Lotus in both. Wow, that is really really lucky. Booger Sculptors in the house says your take on the Dracula cards. So here's my quick take on it. I mean, I guess it makes sense that they would have Dracula in Innistrad, you know, especially Crimson Vow. That's a very vampire themed set. But then it begs the question: if they can get Dracula in Crimson Vow, where the hell was Thor and Odin in Kaldheim? Right? I mean, they can say, well, that's Marvel IP. No, I'm not talking about the Marvel versions of Thor and Odin. You could have had Odin and Thor, right, in Kaldheim. If they can get Dracula in Innistrad, Crimson Vow, why could they not do that for Kaldheim? I mean, I think it's kind of cool regardless, but it just makes me wonder because I would have much rather have seen, you know, Odin and Thor in Kaldheim than caring that much about Dracula in Crimson Vow. $18 sealed boxes? That is a lot of lettuce. That is a lot of lettuce. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I was gonna do a spoiler video, and I remember when I started. I actually started filming it, and then halfway through the video, I was like, ah. I just felt uninspired. I don't know why. It was one of those days where, you know, you ever had one of those days you're trying to be creative and then something just doesn't feel right, just doesn't sit right with you. That's kind of the way I felt about trying to go over these spoilers. KB, what's up, Matt? What's up, KB? Hope you're having a great Saturday night. Have you seen the counterspell with cleave? No, actually, what's the name of it? I'll check it out after this. Nathan says, I have a card market store with 28,000 cards. Maybe I should send you something. Ooh, well, if you want me to, yeah, talk about the store, definitely. That'd be amazing. Send it to my PO box and I'll do an opening on the channel. Yeah, I'd be interested to see that. That'd be a fun opening. Easy says, let it all burn. Let's all burn a doobie. Well, I got wine. I'm not much of a doobie guy, to be honest. If we're saying doobie, and I know what you mean by doobie. Yeah, I just don't have the. Yeah, I just get I'm too ADHD, so my brain starts to wander too much when I try any of that stuff, and I get too anxious. Yeah, Crimson Vow Dracula. We're just talking about that. Jake says, I feel like the Fang borders are too cheesy. Nothing is special anymore. Yeah, I know. It's like every set they're trying to do something unique to the set, and it's getting kind of tacky now. I think is the best way to. Yeah, I think that's the best way to actually demonstrate it is in a phrase tacky would probably be it because it's not. There's nothing special about it. Like having a masterpiece in every. It could be even every set have a masterpiece, but make them really rare and unique. That's fine. Like all of these like showcase borders, all of them would be interesting if they were printed at the same rate as all the old masterpieces were. Then people will think it's cool and it's unique to the set. But when it's like in every pack, you're going to get at least one of those cards. Doesn't really care. You know, I don't really care. All right. Thanks to everyone who's liked this stream, by the way. We're at 19 here. Box toppers, yeah, we're great. Actually, if you're not going to do lottery cards, box toppers are also good because it's, you know, they can vary in value. They can make a box, you know, some of them will pay for the entire box. But like, you know, obviously have enough of a supply that there is variations there. So it leaves it up to chance. And that's actually a pretty exciting one. I think box toppers are probably the way to go. Like Ultimate Masters box topper style stuff. I think that's the way to go moving forward for sure. I can't wait for lottery cards again. I bought so many Battle of Zen, Oath, and Kaladesh packs back in the day. True lottery cards were so sick to open. Yeah, well, especially Kaladesh. That was the best by far. But even Battle for Zendikar, it's because Kaladesh wasn't printed into oblivion the same way, you know, Battle for Zendikar was, right? That's why the boxes are more expensive. Also, you know, the masterpieces in that set look beautiful. Yeah, it's true. The Corona box topper, $200. Everyone knew that was going to drop in price, but there's people who are still buying it. It was crazy. People are still buying it. Oh, what was the grading service I used called? Sorry, I almost missed that comment, Jake. It's Wizards Grading. Lottery cards are an interesting dynamic. They command all the premium prices and drive down the prices of all the cards in the set. 100%. It's if you're a standard player, you love it because you're playing standard. You're getting your decks for cheap, and if you're a good player, you can still win store credit at your LGS and everything, and everyone's happy. It drives down the prices of standard cards, but it also makes sealed product go up in value too, because those chase cards are in that set, and collectors are happy because if they can crack those open or buy them on the secondary market, they want to collect them and hold them and invest potentially as well. So all in all, I think really I'm so angry that they got rid of those lottery cards. Those are the way to go. You open a Mana Vault invention from a deck builder's toolkit, and I sold it for 100. I hate my life now. But the funny thing though is 100. That seemed like a good price for it back in the day, though, right? In hindsight, obviously, they went up, but again, $100 was still a good flip, right? If it was gonna be fast money, yeah, that's still pretty good. But yeah, of course, if you held on to it, Hey, use the money to take a girl on a date. There you go. Hey, if you had a good date, it might have been well worth it. Maybe get some steak, some surf and turf. We got another pack of Guilds of Ravnica to potentially open up if we get another chat. Just throwing that out there. I'll probably be on here for another 10 minutes or so to answer any comments, and then I'll have to jet. To be fair, they see the list as lottery cards. Yeah, I know. And it's really not. It's terrible. I rather them just like have only 2 list cards in every box and make it like a smaller list with like higher hitting ticketed items, right? I just hate pulling just jank from the list. I think lottery cards provide the perfect balance of high-end cards. Now all these variants make nothing special. Yep. Yeah, it just comes off as tacky now. Surf and turf indeed. Jake says, the most valuable invention I still have is Chrome Mox and Feast of Famine. Yeah, Chrome Mox is a really good hold. I wish I would have bought in a Soul Ring back in the day. I think at my LGS, they were like around $150. And that was like 2018. I remember at one point I saw the price, like it was like early 2018. Now, let's see, what does the Soul Ring go for now? Jesus, do I even want to look it up? Jeez, let's see. $899.28. So basically $900. Wow. Oh, your Gaia's Cradle. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Definitely be careful shipping that though. Oof, I would get anxiety by sending something like that out in the mail. Okay. It's winding down a little bit. I can drop their website here so you guys can check it out. They should have all the information there. The cards that I got graded for them, he did it for free. I'll send you guys the pricing just so I would do a shout out. There it is. That's the Wizards grading pricing system. No problem. All right. I think it's time. You know what? Let's just crack this last pack open just because I got to go. We'll do it pro bono without it in the chat. Let's do this. Let's just open this last pack up because I want to see a shock land. Okay, we got Fearless Hall of Berdier. We have a Righteous Bow, a Leapfrog, Douser of Lights, Pax Favor, High Poth of Sizzle, Prey Upon. We got Hammer Dropper, Demir Locket, and we got Luminous Bonds with a Conclave Tribunal, great uncommon, with a Crawl Harpooner, not so good uncommon. And then we get a Lotleth Giant, and it's green. It's a green rare. That could be a good thing. No, it's not a good thing. It's awful. It's a Sure and Assemble. This is like one of the worst rares in the set. Okay, that was awful. That was awful. That was straight up awful. Okay. Worst pack of the three. Definitely the worst pack of the three. That there. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in this live stream. I will be back again. Maybe next Sunday. We'll see. But usually Sundays are my preferred, live stream time. So yeah, you feel my pain. That was rough. That's a terrible card. Awful card. Anyways, guys, I'll see you then, and hopefully you guys have a fantastic Halloween weekend, and take care.